Hey guys, and welcome to my first look at a game that probably not a lot of you have heard of. It just came out on Steam today. It's called Paranautical Activity, and this has actually been around for a while, kind of bouncing around, but never was able to make it on Steam. I'm just kidding, of course. I've been doing a series on this for a long time. I'm sure most of you already know what it is. But hey, it just came out on Steam, which is really exciting. So let me close my eyes and hey, nice. We're playing as the tank. Probably my favorite character. One of my favorite characters, anyway. It's up there. David Bowie's also real good, but the tank starts out with a great late game weapon, which is handy in its own right. Even though it's not so great in the early game, we can usually get through the early game without a like souped up weapon. The crossbow's better, but really, like, the early game is not where you end up dying anyway. So hanging out with a late game weapon for the entire game, not a big deal really. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So, Paranautical Activity, for those who have been kind of following the saga of Paranautical Activity, they were going to get on Steam like months ago through publisher Adult Swim, who's been doing some really fantastic games. I've like basically every single game that Adult Swim has put out has been really, really impressive to me, and I've loved them all a lot. Fist Puncher, not really my genre, but it's not like I hate it or anything. Well, I kind of hate playing it, but I don't hate it as a game, if that makes any sense. No offense to Fist Puncher developers if they end up seeing this or hearing that. I just really don't like side-scrolling beat-em-ups, and I'm sorry. But, I really feel like Adult Swim has a knack for picking good games. They picked up Paranautical Activity, and Steam was like, excuse me, no. Because Paranautical Activity already has a... Wow, this is quite a shop. So if we can get the scissors, we want the scissors. We're probably going to end up with the horseshoe, and if we can't get that, we'll end up with shield lever. I hope we can get the 250 for horseshoe. I think it's unlikely we'll get 350 for scissors. But any of those will scale. All three of those items really are very well scaling items that, are really good to pick up early. Shield lever, get us a bunch of armor before we start taking a lot of damage and let us stack that up for the late game. Horseshoe gives us 50% more item drops, so 50% more money, as well as like 50% more heart drops and stuff like that. And then scissors essentially double our money. They're, instead of 50% more money, they're 100% more money, which means that we can buy almost everything we could possibly want. Having double the money is a huge deal if you can pick that up on the very first floor. For the low investment of just 350, we would make that up very quickly. So all of those fantastic items to pick up, and they're very well priced, I would say, because I would say in order of usefulness, the order of usefulness of those items is the same as the order of price. If we get stuck with 200 only, we're going to pick up the shield lever, which is my least favorite of the bunch, and then they get increasingly valuable from there. But anyway, so yeah, Adult Swim was trying to publish Paranautical Activity, and Steam was like, no, they already have a Greenlight page, and we don't want to send the message that publishers can bypass the Greenlight process for new games, which is weird because publishers can bypass the Greenlight process for new games. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. That's the way that the Steam store works. But for some reason, they decided just with Paranautical Activity and possibly some other game. I actually heard the same thing for another game. I can't remember what it was, though. It wasn't something that appealed to me greatly, so I forgot about it. But just for these few games, they decided that they would make that the rule, which is really frustrating because Paranautical Activity is a great game. There's no reason, except for them having already paid Steam $100 to make a Greenlight page earlier. That's the only reason that they weren't allowed to just get on Steam. They were pissed about it, understandably, but they went on Greenlight. And I made an interview with them that got a whole bunch of traffic at a bunch of different news sites. Total Biscuit talked about it in his content patch. A whole bunch of people, Northern Lion talked about it, made some videos, Biznap, of course, and just the whole YouTube community really kind of got behind Paranautical Activity, and to a lesser extent, just the greater like gaming journalism world. Rock Paper Shotgun, Gamma Sutra, etc., etc. So that oh my god, no way. We're gonna get the lighthouse on the first floor. That's a really expensive item, possibly the most expensive item in the game. What that does is if we get down to 1 heart at any point, then we will gain 2 or 3, I think it's 3 spirit hearts. So if we can get through every room without getting hit 4 times, we can just stay alive indefinitely until we collect some more health. So that's obviously a really, really overpowered item. It's kind of like Scapular, but it works a lot better. It's much more effective. It's like if Scapular gave you like more Spirit Hearts. But yeah, and also like Isaac has the weird mechanic with like half hearts and full hearts, and the womb, everything does a full heart and everything, which makes items like Scapular much less effective in the late game. But that doesn't happen in Paranautical Activity, so it's just really, really, really good. So I'm happy to have picked that up. And we did not get even enough for the fucking horseshoe. God damn it. So close too. 226 out of 250. So we're going to pick up Shield Lover. We're going to get more shield drops for the duration of the game, which is really good. That turns half of our red heart drops into spirit heart drops, which is going to let us stack up a lot of health for the late game. But I really would have liked those Hand of Midas-like upgrades that would have given us more money for the entire game to do with what we will. But anyway, so the Greenlight campaign, you know, it got a bunch of traffic. They got up pretty quickly into the top 50 or so. They were playing around at like the top 30, I think, and then they made a Kickstarter, which I also talked about. And the Kickstarter, more than making them money, though it did do that, it made them like $12,000, which is really, you know, nice when you're trying to develop a game and not getting a whole ton of sales and just like hoping that later it will pick up. And you know, over time, like that's the thing with a game, it's an investment, right, to make it, because over time, once the game is done, it continues selling copies and you'll continue getting money from that game forever, basically. But for the short term, you're putting a lot of time into something that's not paying off, you know, a horribly large amount of money. So they were very low on money, and $12,000 is going to help them, you know, be able to work on the game and not have to move on to another project or do other things, which is really cool. But beyond that, the Kickstarter also raised a lot of awareness about Paranautical Activity and about their Greenlight plate, and there was a link to the Greenlight on there, and that got them a bunch more votes. You know, once the Kickstarter started, they got substantially higher in the Greenlight rankings, which is awesome. And then Valve just decided, hey, you know what, we're gonna Greenlight like 100 games at once. I think it was just exactly 100 games. And of course, Paranautical Activity was one of them. They were like number 13 or something at the time, so there was very little chance of them not being one of the games chosen for greenlighting. And now they're on Steam. Very, very exciting stuff. I'm actually still playing the Desura build because Mike hasn't quite figured out how to create Steam keys yet. But I'm looking forward to being able to play this through Steam, so I don't have to deal with Desura anymore. Which sucks. I feel bad saying that. Like, Desura's not awful, but it's inconvenient compared to Steam, which is unfortunate because there's been some talk on Twitter today, actually, like spurred by how well Paranautical Activity is doing now that it's on Steam. They're making more money in a day than they made in weeks on every other platform put together. Basically, they're on almost everything as far as, you know, gaming distribution platforms. I don't think they're on Origin, but besides that, they're on basically everything else, and Steam has just multiplied their sales enormously. They didn't get anything near this when they released on those other platforms. And, you know, that's kind of an unfortunate thing. You know, I like Steam a lot. Steam, don't get me wrong, Steam is a great platform, and I'd probably stick with it even if there was a solid competitor. But I'd really like for there to be just one platform that does one thing that Steam doesn't do, so that it's not such a clear monopoly for Steam, because, you know, monopolies are bad. They just are. It's even if a good service has a monopoly, that still encourages them to just get lazy and not do things well. And Greenlight is an example of that. The way they handled Greenlight was very poor, but it's not like developers can just go like, oh, well, we'll just boycott Steam and you can't sell our games. That's not how it works. If you're not on Steam, you don't make money. That's how the PC gaming landscape is right now, and that's not a great place for it to be, really. Gilead's Gun doesn't interest me whatsoever, so we're going to leave that. You know, that's not where the gaming landscape should be, because that means that nobody's allowed to not use Steam. Steam can set whatever prices they want, they can do whatever they want, and nobody is going to stop using them. They're playing it smart. They're not abusing their position terribly, but they also don't have to really worry about anything. They're continuing to make it really appealing for everybody to use Steam, And that's great because they know they could lose their position, but right now there's no risk of that. So there's no competition. It's all just Steam doing whatever they think is best for them without anybody else innovating, without anything happening where Steam goes, oh wow, that's a really good idea, maybe we should offer that too. Or, oh hey, looks like we can spend some money on making the experience better for our consumers so that we can compete with this other service. That's just never something that you'll see Steam have to deal with, and that's unfortunate. But anyway, that's a long rant about nothing, basically. Really happy that Paranautical Activity's on Steam because I love this game a whole lot, and I want as many people as possible to play it. Though if you are thinking about buying it, I'm like 100% sure that they're going to be handing out Steam codes to everybody who buys it through a different service. I'm pretty sure that Mike and Travis get a better cut out of the Humble purchase than anything else, the like Humble store link. So if you want to buy it, I encourage you to buy it through there, use the Steam key and play it through Steam, because that's the best way to support the developer. But hey, nobody's going to be mad if you just want to buy it through Steam and not go through the hassle of putting the key in and everything, even though it's really easy. You know, it doesn't really matter. It's great for them either way. I'm sure they're making a ton of money now that they're on. Well, I know they are because Mike tweeted about it, which is awesome. Because the game deserves it, for sure. And Mike's working on multiplayer still, even though they didn't hit that stretch goal. He's still doing it anyway, because he's a cool dude. I'd really like the magnet, but first we're going to get this speed up, because it's really kind of essential for this character to have a bunch of speed. But in a little bit we'll go back and get the magnet, which is just a convenience item more than anything. But for $50, it's perfectly worth it, I think, to be able to just pick up all of the money without having to run around and get it all. Because I just don't like wasting time like that. It's nice having it drag towards you when you're close to it, but it's even nicer just every time you kill an enemy, just having a little packet of drops fly right into your mouth, if you know what I mean. Oh, we only have $47. I thought for sure this room was going to do it. I didn't even look. One more room, I guess. Wow, thank God there was one more room, or we wouldn't have been able to pick up the magnet, which I would have been really put out about. But, you know, if this room doesn't produce 3 cents, that's kind of crazy. Yep, there it is right there. So in the future, we'll be able to just pick up drops without worrying about anything. Kill that guy. That's all of our money. And onto the shop, and then onto the next floor. Any second now. See, I was talking about multiplayer coming out for Paranautical Activity. Mike's been working on it a whole lot. He had to stop to do the administrative stuff, getting it on Steam, but he's back to work on that now, as far as I know. He might also be working on getting Steam keys generated, actually, because that's an important thing as well. But pretty soon, he'll be back to working on multiplayer, which is really exciting to me. I can't wait. Zero Doxy and I are definitely going to be playing some multiplayer together, at the very least. I would love to get some other YouTubers on it as well. Mike says that the number of players playing at once is going to be unlimited, just as many as you can do before the game crashes, which is interesting to me from a balance perspective. We'll have to see how that works out, because the downside, he says, is that everybody does not share upgrades. You just have to, you know, find upgrades for every individual person, which will be interesting, because I almost feel like there will be a Dota-like mechanic of like, okay, some people are gonna have carry weapons, like you're gonna have the carry with the shotgun or whatever, and he's gonna take all the damage upgrades and shot speed upgrades, and then you'll have support characters who are like, okay, I've got a grenade launcher, I'll take the powder keg and nothing else basically, or I've got the trident or the crossbow or something like that, and I just won't take upgrades because I don't need them. Just maybe some speed ups or something, and that way everybody can kind of be effective. But you know, as the late game comes on, the carries who are taking the upgrades will become more and more effective, and the other people will be less effective. I don't know, I feel like that's going to be the most efficient way for it to work out. I'm not sure if everybody's going to play like that. I also don't know how difficult it's going to be. There's going to be a lot of balancing to be done there, I feel, to make sure that that doesn't totally break the game, just having a bunch of people being able to shoot things at once. Because I feel like a lot of rooms are going to be way easier just because you have 2 people in that room for enemies to shoot at. Because that splits up the danger so much. Like, there are a lot of rooms where you go in, you've got a Gilead in every corner shooting at you, you've got a Genghis chasing you around, and you've got homing bullets to worry about. And that's just, you know, that's a lot of stuff to deal with. And if there were 2 people to split up the damage, split up the aggro of the enemies, then that's way less chance to get hit right there. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if Mike's reasoning is solid, that because they have to share upgrades, you know, multiple players will be substantially less effective than a single player. But we'll see. I think the enemies should probably be buffed as well for multiplayer, personally. But I'm excited to find out, and I'm definitely excited to just play Paranautical Activity with my friends. That's going to be so much fun. I really, like, online co-op is something that all roguelikes should be doing, and almost none of them are, and it's very frustrating to me. Yeah, I definitely want Kiss of Death. Like, I know it's a lot more work in the development cycle, but the longevity of the game and the appeal of the game just goes through the roof, especially for YouTube, which is like a big thing for roguelikes right now. I feel like the biggest roguelikes are all the ones that have been picked up by YouTubers. And it makes a big difference because the format of a roguelike works so well for YouTube. And if you have a game of that format that you can then do cooperative series with other YouTubers with, that's, you know, YouTubers love co-op games. It's so nice being able to play with other people. It makes commentary so much easier. It's you know, it's good to share audiences with other YouTubers. It's just something we're always looking for. I'm always looking for co-op series if I can, but there just aren't a whole lot of great co-op games right now. So, you know, I don't do a lot of co-op series, unfortunately. So Paranautical Activity getting multiplayer is going to be a big deal. And, you know, other games, like if Spelunky had online co-op, oh my god. It's already exploding in the YouTube scene, but man, like everybody would just be playing Spelunky with everybody all the time. That would be all the videos that anybody has time for. So, I'm excited. Anyway, it's a short version. I'm excited that online co-op is coming out for Paranautical Activity. I think it's a really smart idea, and it's something that really surprises me that other developers don't do. Like, Isaac Rebirth, why? Why would you not just... I don't care if it adds like 6 months to the development cycle. Online co-op is fucking essential for that game. We're gonna pick up Cherry Bomb, which makes our bombs explode into other bombs. That's pretty nice. That is gonna be doing a lot of damage if we are so inclined. This guy is a little bit too fast for my taste, but we're just gonna jump up here. Yeah, fuck you, buddy. Oh, he's gonna shoot at me. I forgot about that attack. I thought he was making saws come out of the ground. Ah, yeah, that's actually a lot of damage. Okay, so I don't like this strategy at all. People had told me to try that. I don't like it. It's very difficult to dodge the shooting attacks, unfortunately. And really running away from them isn't a big deal. But I guess if you're too slow... Oh my god. That was some very poor luck with those saws. Because I've talked about this before, but the best way to dodge those saws is paradoxically to just stand still. Paradoxically, like Zerodoxy, I don't know. But yeah, it's the best way to dodge the saws is to stand still, even though it didn't look like it there. Because the saws actually go randomly in a radius around you. And you can't get out of that radius by running. If you're trying to move away from the saws, then all you're doing is just increasing your chance of walking into one as it spawns. If you stand still, you're taking up the least possible amount of space, so the saws have the least possible chance of spawning in you. But if when you start moving around, then you have so much. You're occupying a line instead of a point, and any saws along those lines will hit. Along that line will hit you and do damage, which is weird. I don't really like that, honestly. I don't like that you can't dodge that attack effectively, but you really can't. You can't tell when the saws are coming for you in time to get out of the way, and if you try to move to get away from the saws, then all you're gonna do is get yourself hit by more saws. So you just have to tank a little bit on that boss. But bright side is he drops a bunch of armor, which is nice. We don't quite have enough for the Kiss of Death, do we? Oh, there's a saw there. Almost forgot about it. Ah, man. And you know what? Yeah, Poison bombs. Grenade launchers too expensive. I'm going to take poison bombs. Those will do 200% of the poison damage of a blowfish every time they hit anything. And here's the thing, we have cherry bomb. So bosses that we spam bombs on are just going to go down incredibly quickly and easily. They're going to get poisoned so much, and the poison damage is going to stack up really fast. So that's going to be nice. Hans was not the best example of a bombable boss, or I would have bombed him with the cherry bomb. But a lot of bosses are just very large and sit very still, so the cherry bomb is pretty ideal for them. Jesus Christ. It's a lot of dudes. I'm really surprised these guys somehow survived that explosion of explosions, but hey, shit happens. Use one more bomb to just blow everything up again. Cherry bomb is such a good item. It revolutionizes the way bombs work. You don't have to care. Like, if there's just a room full of enemies, you just drop a bomb. You're probably gonna hit a lot of the enemies, just by virtue of the giant explosion that you create. I wonder how many bombs the cherry bomb creates. I've never been able to tell because they all explode so quickly. And I'm usually focused on something else when I throw a cherry bomb. Fuck. Pretty easy room. So starting to think I'm in a pretty good position item-wise. I mean, we've had Lighthouse this whole time, which is kind of the ace up the sleeve for us. We don't have to, you know, think about it for most of the game because it doesn't really do anything. This room always gets me hit, man. There's no way around all those skulls, as far as I can tell. Really like to get to some kind of relevant room instead of going through lava. I'm gonna try to do that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, with the lighthouse is an ace up our sleeve because it's not doing anything for us right now. But if we happen to get into such a bad situation that we start running out of health regularly, it's going to keep us alive for a long time, potentially long enough to buy another really good upgrade that will keep us alive for even longer. And just spiral out of control like that. And beyond that, we're doing decent damage to things. I don't know how many damage ups we've actually gotten. Not very many. Not enough. I would like more. But for right now, we're in a good place DPS wise. We don't really need substantially more. A shotgun's actually a pretty good weapon even early game, even without upgrades, but it just gets better and better the more upgrades you get. It really responds well to damage up and shot speed up, or not shot speed up, tears up. Not tears up, fire rate up. Excuse me, thinking about Isaac again. This fucking room, man, so many times. It's just unavoidable damage every single time. Getting pretty fed up with it. We do have Shield Lover giving us more shields, but unfortunately we're down to 11, or down to 4 shields, just because I've taken a bunch of dumb or unavoidable damage lately. You know, kind of alternating between the two. There's a gift shop right there. Excited to see what we can buy in there. We do have 287. You know, most upgrades aren't more than like 400, so we should be able to buy most things that could be in that shop. You know, maybe not an Iron Heart. Maybe we don't even want an Iron Heart because we do have that Shield Lover. And Iron Heart would completely negate any effect from Shield Lover. But, I mean, there are a lot of red hearts on the ground. But we'd start getting less health drops total. We'd still get more health drops, but less total. And it would also... I think it would be bad if we got to the point where we were using the lighthouse repeatedly. Ah, well, there's Iron Heart. I don't want it. For reasons I just discussed. I do want the horseshoe for sure. We're going to pick that up first. We're going to try to come back for the mystery box, because that could be anything. And for 200 gold, I think it's worth the gamble. But yeah, so I don't think Iron Heart, you know, it would, I think, objectively be an upgrade right now, but in the long term, I'm not sure it would be with Lighthouse. It has pretty poor synergy with Lighthouse when you already have Shield Lover. And also, it's a lot of money. It's 750 coins. We probably couldn't have saved that up this entire floor if we tried, but it would mean a lot of upgrades that we couldn't get. We couldn't have gotten the horseshoe and the Iron Heart almost for sure. We'd have to get so much money on this floor. We're gonna pick up Gilead's gun again. Awesome. Yeah, fantastic. Really happy to see that. It's 2 mini bosses that have given me Gilead's gun so far. That fucking weapon. Game would be so much better if it wasn't in. I'd really like to see them fix Gilead's gun so that it doesn't like pulse in your face so much, so that it's possible to see things while you're shooting it. Because it really does. It makes it so difficult to play the game when you're shooting that gun all the time. And just, it's such a slap in the face that in addition to that you also have to spin it up. So you're not allowed to ever like not be shooting it if you want to be playing effectively. It is such an annoying weapon. Such a piece of shit. I hate it. Anyway, let's move over toward the boss room. Again, really like to get 200 coins for that mystery box. Oh, fucking shit, man. Gonna have to dive into the lava. Oh, fuck. How did I not get hit by the lava there? I must have been still invulnerable to it. I think lava has an extended invulnerability timer compared to other damage. So you can't get hit by lava again very quickly. Which is nice. So it took a lot of damage just standing on top of a scorch in there. Couldn't really go anywhere unless I wanted to dive into the lava, which I did eventually end up having to do. I hate lava. It is annoying. We're back down to the 3 shields. We had more for a little while, but they're all gone now, of course. Let's wander into the boss room here. This guy is gonna have a bad time, if I had to imagine. The poison is wearing off so quickly on this guy. That's weird. I don't know why why he's not staying poisoned for very long. Maybe he has some kind of innate poison resistance that I don't know about. Just use some bombs on him because he is starting to get kind of out of control. But there's a speed up for us, which is nice. Actually moving pretty goddamn fast as the tank here, which is unusual. And I'd love to get another 25 coins so we can get that mystery box. Hopefully this room will do it, because I think this is the last room on this level. Up to 182, getting close. 193, looks like we probably got it. Sneak a bomb up there and kill one of the Gileads so we don't have to deal with him. I was kind of hoping it would take out the Lecter as well, but it didn't. That's okay. There we go. And now we can move back to the shop. Pick up the mystery box. What have we got? Spring, jump higher. Alright, well, glad that we got that for sure. Let's move back over to the boss room. And move on to the next floor. Again, doing okay. I would definitely like some more offensive upgrades. We haven't really gotten any of those. I'm going to drink a little bit of water. As we move on to the first level of the Nazi-themed floors. And this is where we really want to not explore at all. I don't think I'll get hit if I just peek in here. Nope. Definitely don't want to deal with that arrow trap if I can help it. And just really hoping to see some relevant rooms here. I'd love to get the almanac soon, which is a compass in this game. Which is, I feel like an almanac is actually a book, but the picture of it is a compass, so that's kind of weird to me. I could be wrong about that though. But anyway, yeah, I'd really like that so that we don't have to wander too long. Ah, nice, there's the shop and the boss room. We might just call it here, call 2 out of 3 rooms pretty good, and not deal with any more. Because these rooms are pretty scary. Let's check out the shop. If there's something really good, we could grind for it. There is not. Rocket launcher, sickle, and health box. Rocket launcher is pretty good, but I'd rather stick with the shotgun. Let's check out what's going on in here. We got the Medusa, or the, sorry, the Banshee, not the Medusa. But this is a fairly easy boss fight, now that we can stay away from it. I remember last time I said it was an easy boss fight, then I tried to kill it with the sickle and was like, oh, never mind. It's actually the hardest boss fight in the fucking game with the sickle because it's so impossible to dodge his shots when you have to get that close to him. It's also, I feel like his speed has been boosted a little bit, or her, I guess, probably. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna stand on it. What is going on? What has happened here? I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this boss. I can't leave. The boss is moving exactly where I'm moving. This is the funniest glitch I've ever seen in Paranautical Activity. That was really good. I was surfing on top of the Banshee. Oh, don't do it again, you motherfucker. I cannot wait until Mike sees that. That was the funniest shit, because every time I moved in a direction, like, I was controlling the Banshee there. That was not like me happening to move in the same direction as it a lot, or just standing there and not doing anything. That was every time I pushed a direction, I just surfed the Banshee. So we're gonna move on to the next floor here. I don't want to deal with any more of this than I have to. That was good. I could just control exactly what that boss did that whole time. Well, here's another boss. Might as well. We're gonna pick up the blowfish, which is a nice upgrade for sure. Definitely want to poison it if at all possible. Oh, there's some fish. Keep on using cherry bombs on it. I feel like the cherry bombs, like the follow-up bombs from the cherry bomb, are not really doing that much to bosses. Like, I noticed this on the octopus, and I'm also noticing it here. Maybe those bombs aren't affected by upgrades, and that's why they're not doing the poison. Or maybe they're just not hitting because of some kind of bug. But either way, kind of disappointing. There's the blowfish. I would love to see another room before we go, like another room of import. But I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and move on to the next floor, because I don't want to just drain all of my resources here. I would like, as much as possible, to just keep on going and make it to the next boss and see if we can win. Well, there it is. Alright, so we're using the rush strategy here for sure, which is really good because the Nazi floors are not someplace we want to be for a long time. I probably conserved a lot of health compared to what I would have done if I had tried to explore. This room is real scary. I don't like it at all. Fucking arrow traps, man. Ah, fuck. That bomb dude hit me one last time before I managed to take him out. Please die. Thank you. Nazi's pretty bad to fight with the shotgun because they're so thin. But anyway, that's that. Let's go ahead and fight the final boss, see what kind of DPS I have, but probably not enough if I had to guess. Definitely want to keep her poisoned if at all possible. We can use these cherry bombs to pretty effectively decimate whatever bosses she spawns, which is nice. So all these secondary bomb explosions are going to be hitting the Skeletos as well as her. But man, does she have a lot of health. This could be a problem. I'm keeping her pretty well poisoned with all these bombs, which is nice. Man, her fucking bullets really mess with bomb trajectories, which is why Cherry Bomb is so nice on this boss. Pretty soon she's going to be spawning another set of bosses, which is not good. I would really like... Ah, yeah, there they are. I'd really like the Skeletos to be dead by this point, unfortunately. But then again, I mean, they're spawning a bunch of spiders, which then drop things for us sometimes. So we could potentially get some health out of that, which is the only place you can get health on this boss fight. Just dropping a lot of bombs in here. We're going to run out soon, and that's going to be a big issue. God, there's so much shit. Too much shit in this boss room. Oh, fuck. Starting to get some lag. But, okay, there's one Skeleto down. Yes, I don't feel bad about having the other one around just for farming drops, but 2 was a bit much. We really need these Nazis dead. That's going to be the biggest deal here. If we can get them out of here, then we could potentially be in an okay situation. I'm not really sure what she spawns after this. I've never lived long enough to find out. Either I'm doing really badly at this point or I'm doing really well at this point and kill her pretty soon afterwards. But we're not even to halfway of her health. So we're going to learn some new things. I really want that Nazi dead. Thank you. Okay, and this guy shouldn't be too hard to take out either, so I'll focus fire on him for a little while. And oh god, I didn't know there was still one of these assholes. Oh, there's a bunch of scorches. We can just blow them all up though. Almost. Oh please, come on. And now I kind of need to save bombs for if she spawns anything else crazy. And just keep on focusing fire. We're at 6 health left. Can we do it? Everything's dead except for her right now. God, this is such a long boss fight. This is why the Trident is a good pickup, just because of this. Because if you don't have the damage to take out this boss, you're gonna be feeling pretty bad about yourself at this point. God, there's so much shit. So much damage you have to do. She has like near infinite health, which is crazy. And yet the Trident does so much damage you can just walk up to her and hit her and she'll die in like 20 seconds or less. It's crazy. Just walk up to her and melee her until she's dead. Just spam the melee button. Trident does a lot of damage. Okay, we're getting there. I think that might be all she spawns. I kind of expected the boss to go a different way than that. And that's why I'm always hesitant to kill things. I'm like, oh, she'll just spawn more. Might be best to just kill the spawns as soon as possible and then kill her because, oh, never mind. She did spawn more Skeletos. But still, you can get a really good break in there if you just focus down the bosses. There we go, she's dead. Now we just have to kill 2 Skeletos without bombs, which is annoying, but should not be a 5 health venture, if I had to guess, anyway. Please just die. Please just die. Jesus Christ, there we go. Alright, one more Skeleto. Shouldn't be too bad. Start thinning out the spiders now that there's only one dude producing them. Because it's kind of a problem how many spiders there are in this room. Yeah, there's no way I ever could have done this with the sickle, by the way. The sickle's so bad, and I didn't even get any upgrades. Like, by all rights, the sickle should be a lot better with no upgrades. But it just isn't. It just isn't. It's so bad. Shotgun's a great weapon, though. I like it a lot. I don't remember, like, somebody tell me in the comments, did I pick up anything that increases my damage besides the blowfish? I don't think so. I think that was it. Oh, no, there was the Banshee's Scream. But besides that... yeah, very, very light on the upgrades this time, but hey, it all worked out. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Paranautical Activity. Go pick it up if you've been waiting for it to be on Steam. Now's the time. Go to the Humble page, buy it, redeem your Steam key, be happy. Show off to your Steam friends that you are playing Paranautical Activity. It's a great game, and I'm really glad that it finally got released on Steam. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.